Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
And go.
Ready for this. Are you ready? I'm ready. Why is it every time I say, are you ready, you start that tune? You do that.
CNC Music Factory, baby. Gonna make you sweat till you bleed.
You're just like a broken record.
Sorry, I'm a child of the 90s, and I sweated away many a night in the disco to that very tune.
I will say this. Recently, my wife got the kids an Alexa, and we have been listening to more music around the house because you can just yell at Alexa. And I do know that, Bezos is listening to me and collecting my data. I'm at this point where I just don't care. And so, we've been listening to a lot more music, and so it just prompts me to sit back and yell out bands and things that I like. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I've been listening to a lot of Michael Jackson lately. And I don't know.
He made some good tunes.
There's something about music that occurred during your younger years that's automatically like I listened to music that I didn't like back then that my sister listened to that now I'm going like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember she
like what?
had one of those she was really into rap music.
Oh, from the 90s?
From the 90s, like when it was first kicking off. So I missed that. I missed that age of I was something I was not into, but now it's like I know I can sing Gangster's Paradise word for word. I don't know where I got it.
Or Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Ice Baby. I love that guy. He proved that no matter he proved that a mediocre white guy can make it at literally anything if he just tries hard enough and is willing to let somebody else sing stupid lyrics.
Well, Mark Wahlberg takes offense to that.
I like Mark Wahlberg. I actually think he's a pretty good actor for what he does.
Say hello to your mother.
Yeah. I mean, who can deliver that line with that type of conviction?
I don't really know. I guess you go 90s rap. You got Tupac, of course.
R.I.P. No, he's not dead. I saw him in a hologram at Coachella a few years back.
Biggie? Is Notorious B.I.G. and Biggie Smalls the same person?
I don't know. Okay, so all my knowledge about rap music comes from Bubba. I asked Bubba these questions. There was one group that he mentioned. I can't remember who it was, but then he told me, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. I'm like, why? He's like, just don't. I was like, I can't remember who it was.
Is it the guys that are like, color me bad. Color me bad.
I'm often.
I wanna sex you up.
I remember that. Yeah. That was a good song. That was like one of those songs that came out that when you first listened to, remember when MTV had music videos?
When they videos before they started doing Road Trip and Real World.
I used to love it. You could turn on and watch LL Cool J just driving around licking his lips.
LL, that's an original, yeah.
I loved LL. He was cool.
I would have, of course, I remember Vanilla Ice, of course, Ice Baby. MC Hammer, but he's a little more 80s than he is 90s, although I think he eased into the 90s, the early 90s. But I listened to Tupac quite a bit in the later 90s when I graduated high school. Well, that was 95, actually. 95, 96. But I was more of a Pearl Jam, Metallica guy.
I bring this up because Alexa brought back all this music, and then I started getting on watching music videos. So I watched all of Michael Jackson's music videos and just realized that this man was incredible for the time. And then I remember the Crash Test Dummies. I'd sit there and watch all their goofy music videos, and so I went.
That's good stuff right there.
I just went down this rabbit hole of thinking of old music videos and finding them, and it's just now become my obsession. And I wonder if this is going to make me sound so old, but are they still doing music videos?
Yeah. Actually, me and Sade were watching some the other day. She's like, it's been forever since I've watched music videos. I mean, I don't know that they like have a top 20 or anything anymore because literally nobody watches. Well, I take that back literally. Like, who's who's the guy from Korea has like 4 billion views on YouTube?
Oh, yeah,
Psy.
that Gangnam style.
Gangnam style, yeah. So people watch them, but I think they just watch them on YouTube. They don't like watch rankings of them like they used to. Although as much as lists and ranking are popular these days, you'd think they might.
Didn't you used to watch Carson Daly? You'd just sit there and wonder what they're about to release Eminem's new video.
Is it going to be Limp Bizkit or NSYNC this week?
Limp Bizkit. There's another group. There's another where mediocrity just reigns. Oh man. Anyways, speaking of lists and top 10 lists, we've decided that it's finally
But real
time.
quick, before you get to that, you said crash test dummies. It's weird when you mention something old to someone young. Like I told Sade about Pearl Jam, so she really got into Pearl Jam. She's like listening to it all over again, like it's brand new. And then she got into Crash Test Dummies because she had never heard that song before. So I'm like hearing all this old music being played repeatedly. She's like, this is pretty cool.
Tell about Smashing Pumpkins next.
Oh, she knows about Smashing Pumpkins.
Everybody knows about Smashing Pumpkins. Or as my mother used to call them, Smashing Acorns.
Why acorns?
Well, because she got it confused and we literally never corrected her. And so she'd hear their songs and this is the Smashing Acorns, which I don't know. We're from the South. Who's to say?
Acorn is a miniature gourd, I suppose.
Well, I'm going to gourd ahead with our top 10 of 2019. We've been putting this list off because there were many games from 2019 that we didn't get to play. We finally decided we're just going to have to go ahead with it, and we're going to have to pull the trigger. And so we got on PubMeeple, ranked our games. I've got 10. Actually, I've got 11. I have an honorable mention, and I hate honorable mentions, but I'm going to do an honorable mention.
Look at you cheating already.
I'm already cheating. So you got 10 games, and I've got 10 games. We haven't compared our list. We haven't gotten together and figured it out. But I'm going to say that we're going to have major crossover.
Well, yeah,
Like,
because
pretty much
we pretty much play the same
the way
games, and we like the same games.
We tend. It's just going to be at different ranks, but I figure our top 3 are probably going to be close together, I think. I'll kick us off real fast by doing my very briefly, my caveat, my honorable mention. Escape Plan by Vital Lacerda. Mm-hmm. We played it once. I really liked it. I've messed around with it on TTS, or the Tabletop Simulator. I really like it. You're
just like Rachel Ray used to be when she'd say EVOO, which we all know means extra virgin olive oil, but then she would explain it. So there's literally no reason to shorten it if you're going to go ahead and explain it. EVEOO, or extra virgin olive oil. TTS, her Tabletop Simulator. Just say TTS. You don't explain it to nobody.
Well, there might be people wondering, what's this TTS?
Well, they can go to the archives.
Ticket to Scranton?
Yes,
Ticket to Scranton.
Dunder Mifflin.
No, so Escape Plan, I didn't play it enough to really be able to formulate a great opinion of it. I just know that I liked it, and I think if I had played it more, it would definitely have been on my list. So that's the caveat. If you're wondering, hey, why isn't Escape Plan there? Well, it's because I really didn't get to play it enough. So, all right, Gaby, I'll let you start off. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Tapestry. I'm just kidding. I just was wondering if you would spew out your whatever you're drinking over there.
Kenichi XO is what's bringing you this top 10 list.
My number 10 is the one we just played like yesterday, 4 times in a row.
Oh,
Blitzkrieg! Exclamation point! Thank you. I've been hearing about this game for a long time now. Tried to get it for a long time. It was always out of stock everywhere. So we finally ended up playing it on TTS. Did you get a physical copy?
I have a physical copy.
Must be nice.
It is nice.
I was rather blown away with how utterly simple, like the concept is just so simple, but yet you got all these little things, just filling up the top rows of these different categories of theaters of war, and then you know me, I cannot explain the game, but Blitzkrieg is my number 10.
Blitzkrieg is a great 2-player, very abstract war game. Got a bag building aspect where you're pulling chits out, playing them. We're just going to do another review on it. It's got a solo by Dave. Is it David or Daniel Turksey? I never can get his name right. Mr. Turksey. It's a great game, and it's an excellent choice. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, because it's certainly one of my...
And especially on Tabletop Simulator, like I've not been too thrilled with play, but that's the type of game to play on there. Like, there's not much to move around.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple to learn, and once you get it, you got it, and you're good.
Get it, got it, good.
My number 10 is another 2-player war game of the same war, Undaunted Normandy. I really enjoyed
every
Undaunted.
one of our reveals, let's go,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Undaunted Normandy caught me by surprise, mainly because it's a deck builder.
Like D-Day.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah. You brought that out of nowhere, did you?
They didn't see it coming.
I'm trying to make a joke about D-Day, and I can't. I'm really thinking about it. I'm trying to. I'm digging deep, and I can't think of anything. Okay, never mind.
Just go on then.
Okay, so it is not the type of game I would generally enjoy because of the deck building aspect, but the area control and just there is some randomness with the dice rolling, but I found Undaunted Normandy to be a much meatier 2-player game that I truly enjoyed. I've never got to play the solo of it yet. They've already got another iteration out of it, which looks even better, and everybody keeps saying it's great. The Undaunted Africa, I think it was.
Yeah, North Africa.
North Africa. Yeah, Undaunted. That was excellent. And if you're into 2-player games and you like that back and forth deck building action, this is it.
So, quick question. Is, I guess we don't want to give away our list, but...
This isn't quick.
Well, okay, never mind then.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask it at the end of our discussion.
All right, sounds good. You're number 9, sir.
My number 9 game of 2019 is one that you didn't care for too much. And when I did play it with you, it did seem rather dry. But I had a good time playing it with Mike and Crystal several times. Kalis 1303.
Oh.
It's an old school worker placement. Wind your way up to the castle, getting favors, collecting goods, building things.
I did a lot of whining in that game.
But it's I looked on there and I had played it, I think like 7 or 8 times. And I was like, every time I played it with Mike and Crystal, I enjoyed it. We had a good time. And it was tight, and the worker placement and is vicious with the little dude on the horse going back and forth. When I played it with Mike and Crystal, and we had the characters, we'd steal them from each other. You and Enrique didn't do that. I think that kind of made a big difference in the game because I just stole all y'all's and y'all never bothered to take them back. But I enjoyed it quite a bit for 2019 games.
Well, I'm glad you like it because it's one that I can do without.
Designer William Atia? I don't know that I've ever heard of him since.
I'm sure he's probably an established designer.
He did Spirium, Kalis Magna Carta. I don't think he's done a whole lot that's super popular.
I didn't particularly care for Spirium either.
Apparently, Kalis is his biggest one.
My number 9 is one that caught me off guard. It's a Phillips game, a Shem Phillips game, if I'm not mistaken. The Circadian's First Light. Yeah, that really. Actually, no. One of the Phillips did the artwork on it. I think it was another designer. But Circadian's First Light is a dice placement game, which I hate dice placement.
That's a lie and a falsehood, and everybody knows it.
It's a small box game. It's got these really irritating little pieces, and it's
God, so many little pieces.
And it's just there's a lot to not like about this game, but man, it plays well on TTS. It's a great solo game. I mean, the solo really does a good job of giving you a run for your money. The engine building, just the artwork. There's something about this game. It looks like one of those like sci-fi B movie artworks. You know, it's something that you would think, oh, this looks weird. And one of those games
something
that
you see
looks
on
like
the Sci-Fi Channel after Megalodon versus Octosaurus.
it looks like a failed Kickstarter, but man, it is designed very tightly. It's a great game. Great game. I have not heard many people talk about it, and that is just a tragedy. Circadians, First Light. Look it up. Garfield Games. Excellent game.
Excellent solo.
Excellent game. Excellent game. Okay. Go ahead. You're number 8, sir.
Number 8.
Number 8
is going to come at you from. I don't think you would even imagine this is on any list anywhere. Paris, New Eden.
Wow.
But hey,
Wow.
pub meeple don't lie.
No, the pub don't lie.
Pub don't lie.
Paris New Eden is I respect that choice. I respect it.
I was thinking about it, and it is like its overall rank is 4,519. So nobody is playing this game, or very few are playing this game. Like I never hear about it. It's gone. But it pulled up in my list. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good game. I put it on there and I kept punching it and I kept punching it. I was like, wow, I really did like this game. The dice placement was simple, but again, you had to feed your workers at the end of the round, and that made it so frustrating. But that's what I love is when I get frustrated at how little I'm able to do in a game, but I need to do everything. I like that punishment. Something about that I like. And this game did it. Dice placement, one of Jerry's favorites. And you like this game as well.
I do like this game. We played it at BGG. Caught me by surprise. I liked it enough that I actually got into a tournament with Enrique playing this game, an official tournament put on by the people who are publishing it, which is Matagot, which Matagot publishes a lot of good games. And since you've got me on Paris New Eden, I'm going to put just to throw out there the designer of it. It's two designers, one a new guy, and another one is, I'm going to butcher his name. His last name is Malblanc. Mm-hmm. He is the designer of Mr. Jack, which one of my favorite iterations of Mr. Jack is Mr. Jack Pocket. I love that game. He is also the designer of Cyclades and Cash and Guns. So it is a very well established designer. So this is not some. This is a good game. If you've not heard of Paris New Eden, definitely look it up. I really like the artwork. It has that. I don't like that feed your worker thing that takes place in a lot of Uwe Rosenberg games. This game has you're buying these cards, and some of these cards just have people that you're having to feed. It's basically a post-apocalyptic game where you're taking on and building these buildings, but some of these buildings have like refugees that you've got to take care of. That's probably the neatest mechanic in this game. It's accustomed to the London poverty level mechanic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I really liked it. Really liked Paris New Eden.
It's completely themeless other than the setting. The art is really nice. It says artist is Agnes Repochet. I really liked the box art and the art on the board and stuff. The theme really doesn't come through, but the mechanisms are pretty interesting.
Yeah. Excellent. My number 8 is an awesome Kickstarter for which I am waiting for not the expansion, but I got the updated rules and some other things from the company. It should be getting here soon. Dinogenics. Dinogenics is the real Jurassic Park game. Dinosaur Island. Yeah, Dinosaur Island and all this other stuff doesn't hold a candle to Dinogenics. A action selection. It's worker placement because you're placing your workers out there to build up your park, to buy buildings, to produce dinosaurs, hand management, resource management. Because if you don't got enough goats, you're going to make your carnivores mad. Dinogenics is one of those games that, if it had been picked up by a bigger publisher rather than a Kickstarter, it would have been Jurassic Park. It would have had a lot more artwork and a lot more art design put into it. That's the only thing that holds it back, really. But the gameplay of Dinogenics is spot on. It is thematic. Spot on. I love it. Yeah, every time we play this game, I'm sitting there just doing that. I'm doing that that Jeff Goldblum laugh.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaurs.
Must go faster.
One bad thing about dinosaurs. I'm doing Matthew McConaughey. I can't do my Matthew McConaughey.
It's pretty close. Just break Matthew up a little bit more.
No, Matthew McConaughey. My Matthew McConaughey and my Jeff Goldblum sound the same. Because Jeff Goldblum has that, he gets his voice really high right there at the end. It's like,
it's almost like you take Matthew McConaughey and then put him.
I really wanted some ketchup to go on this cheeseburger.
Just raise his pitch randomly. That's like Robin Williams. One time I was watching one of his skits, and he said to get George Bush, he said, well, you take John Wayne and you tighten up his butt a little bit, and then you got George Bush. It's the same thing with Matthew and Jeff. Just alter Matthew a little bit, you get Jeff.
You tighten up Jeff and you get Matthew.
Tighten up Jeff's butt a little bit, you get Jeff Goldblum.
I don't know about that. What are we all? You've thrown me off so bad. You're on your number 7.
Number 7. I wish we had a guy. My number 7 was your number 10, Undaunted Normandy.
Oh, very nice.
So I have two-player World War II setting games on my list. Undaunted Normandy is ahead of it because I really like the random die rolls, the shooting at each other, rolling a die. Am I going to hit you? Am I not? Can I knock you out? That's very thrilling in this game to me. And me and DJ played this game where he actually used to sniper on one of the maps that me and you never played. And he just tore me up with that sniper. And he was like in cover, so he was hard to hit, but yet I was trying to make a run for it, and he was sniping me. Oh, it was just so fun. I love this game.
Oh, it's a great game. And it's just thematic enough that you do kind of have that. I just love that deck building mechanic in this game where you're taking hits, and so you're having to discard those cards. The kind of, you're weakening that that unit down.
You'll never guess what just happened.
What? I won't guess what happened.
Gina started vacuuming.
Oh, of course. She just knows.
I think she has a sixth sense, or she just hates our podcast. It's sabotage.
Subliminal way of just saying this podcast sucks.
Turn off the vacuum. I always remember Armageddon, the very beginning of Armageddon, where he sees the asteroid hurtling towards Earth, and it's the old man in that big telescope, and he just starts yelling at his wife, "Get the book! Get the book! Get the book!"
I like it later when he's on the phone with NASA with Billy Bob Thornton, and he's like, "I'd like to name this asteroid after my wife." He delivers that line. I can't even remember what it was. I'm sure it wasn't appropriate. But yeah, that's the one. I remember that scene from Armageddon. that and that Owen Wilson died needlessly.
Oh, poor Owen.
Poor Owen. It's like I always say, don't ever star across from Ben Affleck. It's like in his contract that if you star across from Ben Affleck, you are going to die.
Even Bruce got it.
Yeah, he kills. Well, Bruce dies a lot, though. Bruce gets killed in a lot of the shows where he stars across from somebody, especially in his old age. My number 7. We are on 7, right?
Number 7.
The King's Dilemma.
Oh, snap.
I really like this game. I hate that I've pretty much started.
Not Kong's Dilemma.
No, not Kong's Dilemma. Should I crush this woman, or should I carry her to the top of the skyscraper?
Or eat her. Like, I always thought eating her would be an option. If you're a giant ape and just a monster, wouldn't you think he ate a few things in his day?
He's vegetarian though, isn't he? Aren't gorillas like mainly?
Oh, yeah, but they do eat like bugs.
Yeah, but he might know. Like he's not going to go around eating squirrels and stuff like that. Like,
is that
things.
Like you have a vegetarian that eat vegetables, pescatarian is fish? Is there like an insectarian where you eat only insects, grasshoppers, crickets?
I don't know.
Lice?
What is an aardvark? What is an aardvark? What would an aardvark be called? What kind of eater is an aardvark?
An ant eater. No way to tell.
Yeah.
Herbivore? I guess he's an herbivore. Because he eats...
Omnivore?
Well,
I don't know.
because, I mean, when you're like, I'm vegan nowadays. I don't know if you know this or not. Plant-based
Please
lifestyle.
tell us about it. You've told you went for the first time in your life, you're having some responsibility with your food. And you've literally blasted everybody on Facebook. I'm plant-based. I'm plant-based.
So, like... whenever you look anything up that's vegan or whatever, it says you don't eat anything that had parents. Insects had parents, right? So like even honey, like the hardcore vegans don't eat honey because it comes from a bee. I know that's like super hardcore, but
two things. Apparently an insectivore is
it's a thing.
That's a thing.
Wow.
And yeah, so there's that. And gorillas apparently, I guess they kind of, let me see. What do gorillas eat? They eat bamboo and fruit. They have been known to eat ants and termites. So there you go.
And you're supposed to eat a banana from the other end, not the stalk end, like most humans do.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. So like I have gotten, just to sidetrack everybody, since you're talking about I'm vegan now.
Plant-based diet, baby.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with like this hypertension, hypo-induced hypokalemia, whatever. Basically, I have high blood pressure because my potassium's super low. And so they've got me on all these blood pressure pills and taking all these potassium pills, and they've got me eating this high potassium diet. So I have eaten more bananas within the past 6 days than I think I have in my entire life. Sweet potatoes and potassium. Sweet potatoes and bananas is what I'm living off of.
I was about to say, is there anything else that's like supposedly high in potassium?
I don't know, but that's like what I'm living off of now. So in hopes of getting my blood pressure down so I don't have a stroke.
When you asked your doctor what to eat, did he go BANANAS, bananas?
No.
He missed his chance.
Did he ask again? Ask me again. What can I eat? Ask me again. I was like, what can I eat? He says, aren't you glad I didn't say bananas? My doctor is weird. Is a weird guy. Anyways, the King's Dilemma. You got me sidetracked. The King's Dilemma legacy game. Probably if Enrique was here, R.I.P. Not that he's dead or anything. He's literally just asleep right now.
We just hope he rests in peace.
But I do. I hope he rests in peace. It's a great legacy game, bidding game, telling a story of like you're the council of the king. Yeah, Enrique loves this game. I love this game. I think it's, even though we haven't completed it, it's just telling a story, and I like the story that it's telling. It's just super entertaining, and I think anybody who has a solid game group that can get together, you owe yourself to play this.
King's Dilemma was my number 12.
Very nice. Very nice.
Enrique, like I cannot stress to you, I would guarantee you, if we would do his new top 5 of all time, it has supplanted Anachrony. At least to see or watch or hear him play this game, because he's rubbing his hands together literally in glee. And he's like, oh, I love this game. He loves the stories. He loves making these decisions. And he gets really into it, like imagining why we need to make these decisions. I've never seen a person get into a game like Enrique has gotten into this game.
He's rubbed all the hairs off the palm of his hands. So to give some background on this, we played Near and Far. And if you played Near and Far back in the day, you know that it has a little bit of a story to it where you make a decision, A or B, and something happens. Enrique loved that game because of his interactions that his character had with another NPC character, the Red Knight. And so we played near and far. It's not that great of a game, and it's not that great of a story. But it was interesting to see kind of these stories stretch out over several different games. The King's Dilemma really breaks that down and it's all about kind of role-playing these characters and being the counsel of the king and seeing this story unfold and realizing that you're being held responsible for poor decisions that you make. And it tells a much tighter story so far from what we've experienced, and that's what's interesting about it, and that's why Rike really he's just raving about it, and I personally I think it's great. All right, what's your next game? What are we to 6?
Number 6. Hold on. It is ranked 2,421. So another smash hit. Yukon Airways plays
Very nice.
1 to 4. I have not played the solo. I believe you have tried the solo.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
By Luda Nova, the designer Al Leduc, Leduc. I don't know. If he's from Yukon, Canada, I would say he's French. Maybe I don't know.
French Canadian.
Let's see what else.
They're just like
created.
regular French people, except with bacon.
He has created also Cupcake Empire, Frankendie, and Yukon Airways. So
Frankendie. Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, when you said that, that's about like Frankenstein with dice. When you said Frankendie, I was thinking like Frank's, like hot dogs. I thought like eating hot dogs and dying. Frankendie is what. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I sidetracked you.
That's what you call. What is that? An E. coli poisoning, maybe. A good like Frankenweenie. That's what you
Frankendie. Frankendie. What is that? It's a big wiener dog.
So Yukon Airways is another dice placement game where the dice are basically your passengers, and someone, who was it? I believe it was Christian Solo Train who said that, is this not a pick up and deliver? And I would have to say, yeah, I guess so. It kind of is, because you're taking the passengers and delivering them to their different locations. But it also has the little personal player board, which is like the dash of your airplane. Very nice. The one thing that Jerry did not like about it was what was that track, like the holiday track or something?
Yeah, it just gives you
Christmas
points
tree,
at the end.
basically.
It's you're scheduling rides for the winter, and it's like your Christmas time rides, your flights. And I didn't like that, and you can completely ignore that track and play the game without it. It doesn't affect anything. But that was the only fault I had with that game.
But I would often invest heavily in that, and I seem to win. So maybe Jerry's got a point. I don't know, but we played this. This was one of the few games at BGG, like we played it and we're like, we played it immediately again, like 2 or 3 times. And then we went and got Bubba and Enrique and were like, all right, let's play this again. And it still was just as good. Because when you get multiple players, you're still worried about what dice they're going to take from you, which passengers, where they're going to go. And it's a bit more difficult to travel there. What's the problem with this list is it makes me want to play games that I cannot play because we can't get together. But whatever.
Yeah, Yukon Airways. Just FYI, it's my number 6 as well.
Oh,
hey! yeah. It's
synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Yukon Airways is a dice placement game. I know I hate those games, but there's more to it than just dice placement. There's more to it than pickup and delivery. There's this sense of having to manage your plane, getting your plane upgraded, what dice you're going to use. There's more going on than simply just taking one thing and taking it from point A to point B.
The fuel to your plane is a big thing.
The fuel alone is enough to drive you insane. Yeah. And so that, if you give me fuel, give me fire, give me that what I desire. And that's what I desire. A nice pick up and deliver game has some great art and more mechanics than just your basic pick up and deliver mechanisms. Mm-hmm. And that's what Yukon Airways is. And if we're going to have to, I know that's probably one of our most disliked mechanics is pick up and delivery. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find a game that has that mechanic featured. But really keeps our attention. Yukon Air Race is the exception.
Well, I was thinking, but there's probably games that I have played that I like that are like this, that actually that is the mechanism, but it's just more subtle, and I didn't actually realize it. Like, I never thought that about this game. I'm like, oh yeah, you are literally taking passengers and delivering them to their destination. So I guess in a way that is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great game. It's a great game. And my number 6. And so this is we have to wait till part 2. They're gonna have to wait till next time for our.
I can't stay up much later
because you're tired.
I'm tired from my job at Walmart, where I'm walking average 7 miles a day. My feet are killing me. I bought some dad shoes. That's what Sade calls them. They're big, black.
New Balance?
No, they're Brooks. I think they're called Addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're large soles, and they're all completely black, all like leather. Yeah, I think my dad had the same pair like 20 years ago.
I've got Skechers, the slip-on Skechers, which is what I wear for business.
Business shoes.
Yeah, but when I'm
when Jerry's slipping on his Skechers, he means business.
Right, but when I'm like, when it's time to play, those New Balances pop out.
Oh.
Yeah, when there's things are going down,
I thought nurses wore Crocs. Aren't they like what solely keeps the Crocs business alive?
Solely. Foot joke. No, not anymore. Crocs were a thing back in the day, but even when I was working in the ER and was on my feet constantly, I wore New Balance. Like, they're either New Balance, but there was those weird shoes that I can't think of that had like no heel. There's like a big gap in the heel and had a spring. I can't remember what those were called. That's what everybody was wearing. It was weird. It had an actual spring in it.
Remember those shoes that were like rocking shoes that were like supposed to like be firming up your glutes and stuff? They were like real popular.
I had those. I did. Have you not noticed my glutes? I cannot. Fun fact: I cannot take a shot in a gluteus maximus. They do not have a sharp enough needle to penetrate these buns of steel.
Hey,
I can smash acorns.
Oh, they don't call you Nutcracker for nothing.
That's right. Go ahead.
We spoke not too long ago about your favorite Doctor Who number 9, Christopher Eccleston.
Oh, Kevorkian? Go ahead.
No. He's going to reprise his Doctor Who role in an audio series.
But will Rose be there?
Apparently that was a big deal.
Will Rose be there with that terrible accent and overbite?
What do you mean terrible accent? That's how she spoke.
I'm sorry, everybody from Wilhelmshire, wherever she was from, Birmingham, but I don't know what part of UK she was from.
I think she's just a Londoner.
She was. That explains it.
I'm speaking about a country I don't know anything about.
I love the Welsh. I'll just tell you right now, the Welsh are they have beautiful singing voices.
Oh, Enya.
Well, that's going to end ya for us today. Catch us next time.
Zoinka, zoinka.
And we'll finish off this top 10 list in right fashion.
Yeah, so if you're riveted about games that came out 3 years ago, continue to listen.
I forgot. This is the Board Game Snobs. Follow us on Instagram. Send us an email. boardgamesnobs@gmail, as in gangstermail.com.
If only there was an OG mail.
Oh, there is no Gmail. As I say in prayers on the night, in the prayers in the street.
Oh my God,
light.
I forgot. You just listened to.
Spending most of my life.
Who sang that?
It's in the gangster's paradise. Coolio.
Yes, I think his net worth is like $100,000.
You'll be lying to chalk. You keep talking about Coolio.
If he could. If only he could make some sort of, what do they call that when you make money off of stuff that comes on years later?
Royalties.
Royalties. If only he could make royalties off of karaoke. Like, he would have a lot of money from myself alone.
That's enough for me. I'm good.
All right. Until next time, we'll see you. Bye.
Paradise. It's been the most